And then there's all sorts of reporting that Tua's out on the way to the Washington football team, which every beat reporter that covers the WFT have gotten from sources. That ain't happening. That's not what's happening. That's not what the WFT is doing. But what are the Texans and Dolphins doing? What's the there? Could it really be done this week? Because that would be something. Based off of the fact that Tua, who threw for 300 yards in the loss against the Jaguars, he's going to be the one held accountable for that. He comes off of his ribs injury, and the 2 times in which he's played a full game, they won one. And I know that they got a nice fumble from Damian Harris late, and they should have won the other. But Tua's the one to be blamed. He did have a terrible interception in the game. The guy's still learning.
Yeah, he's only having
in the same way that I cape for Baker here, I'm caping for Tua there. The problem for Tua is the same one that Baker Mayfield is experiencing in Cleveland. And I don't mean that the team kind of doesn't really want him, that they've kept the receipt on his draft night draft card like it appears Miami has done with Tua. Problem is for Baker is he was atop a draft class in which not one but 2 MVP candidates in the 2021 season were drafted in. One's already won an MVP, and the other has already been awarded one of the richest contracts in the history of professional football, and nobody's batting an eye when Josh Allen put his John Hancock on that contract. And everyone's like, well, Baker, when are you going to show up like Allen is for Buffalo, where they're done in the search for the next Jim Kelly? And the way that Lamar has shown up for Baltimore, where the words Joe and Flacco are like, got to dust that one off. Same way that Cleveland fans are waiting for Baker to put in performances consistently like that, everyone in Miami is looking at Tua and saying, okay, we could have had Herbert instead of you. And even though, as Marshall Faulk said here, still one of the lines of the week in the history of our show this week, despite Larry David being here yesterday and dropping everything from assumed tape and everything else, Marshall said that the Ravens defense turned Herbert into a bear, which was funny. But Justin Herbert's a unicorn, and Miami fans are like, well, we could have had that. Yeah, you could have had that. But the way things go is, don't forget, and I'll just use this as an example, and the same thing with Baker Mayfield as well. Drew Brees, his tenure in San Diego was all kinds of filled with, why aren't you elite? Why aren't you going ahead and winning as many playoff games as, say, another guy from the Big Ten who was drafted in the 6th round is doing for New England? Right? And he's too short. He's too this. He's too that. Yep. And Drew Brees will take those 2 shorts to that, to this, into the Hall of Fame as a first ballot HOFer when it's all said and done. And nobody, when he was in San Diego, thought that. Nobody thought that in San Diego back in the day. So, yeah, I'm saying don't give up on people just yet. Miami is clearly dumb. How do you think Tua is going to walk into this game against Atlanta this week? Holy crap. I mean, I know he's mentally tough, and he's tough.
Like, how much can one guy take?
Honestly.
Like, going back to college.
I thought, Coach, you came into the locker room after the preseason report that you tried to trade for Deshaun Watson came out, and you said, you're our guy, and am I the guy or not? I don't know who he's saying that to, but I'll tell you what. There's a lot of smoke. The question is there some fire on this Deshaun Watson right here, right now? And why? Usually this stuff is done at the very last minute. November 2nd is the trade deadline. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.